Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 215 based on novel. So let's start. In the Desert of Death, shocking scenes emerged one after another. After all, this is a forbidden area in the human world, so it is extremely unfriendly to humans. At this time, in the boundless desert, two figures appeared one after the other. Muingying, why are you doing this? Xiao Yi's figure came directly to Muingying, then stopped her from retreating, and said something bitterly. Although Xiao Yi had to admit that her eldest brother felt sorry for Muingying in the past, but for the relationship, who will heaven forgive? Why? I did my best to Xiao Yang, but in the end he told me that he had a family. I don't say it sooner or later, but at this time. Isn't it funny? Muingying was stopped by Xiao Yi, and she muttered to herself, obviously Xiao Yang just said that she is my wife, which caused a very serious trauma to Muingying. I know it's my eldest brother who is sorry for you, but he will help you rescue Senior Yang Kai as compensation. Xiao Yi said. No need. Go back and tell Xiao Yang that I, Muingying, have nothing to do with him, Xiao Yang, from now on. My brother's matter, I will solve it myself, I don't need his kindness. After Muingying finished speaking, her chest heaved violently. Obviously, when she said this, she felt extremely sad in her heart. After Muingying finished speaking, her speed skyrocketed, and she completely threw away Xiao Yi in a short time. Brother, I'm not reconciled. Xiao Yang is the first human I like, but he already has a family. Even if I like him, I can't destroy the human family. But I'm really uncomfortable. Xiao Yang is so good. I'm not reconciled. My heart, it hurts. And after Muingying shook off Xiao Yi, she went directly to a place where no one cared about, sitting on a rock, sobbing and sobbing. Obviously she couldn't find it now anyone who can rely on and help themselves. It's just that Muingying didn't know that at this time, she had come to the edge of the lonely desert of death, that is, the edge area that was very close to the Shenlling royal family. Who are you? Why did it appear in the territory of my Medusa clan? When Muingying burst into tears, a shadow suddenly poured into Muingying's eyes. I want you to take care of it. And Muingying was still heartbroken just now, and she couldn't even raise her head to say a word in the face of such harsh words. But as soon as those words fell, Muingying suddenly felt that something was wrong, and hurriedly raised her head. What caught Muingying's eyes was a woman who was wearing silk and had a very enchanting aura. The woman's graceful waist and graceful figure made Muingying feel jealous. The most important thing is that this woman, a faint trace of the power of 10 colors slowly lingers, making Muingying like a formidable enemy. Who are you? Seeing the figure approaching, Muingying hurriedly put away her cowardice, because she was helpless now, and she had heard before that among human beings, there were many gangsters with bad hearts who wanted to swallow them up. They are holy flames. I am the new queen of the Medusa family, but who are you? The strength of the 7-star Dodi in the early stage also dares to enter the desert of death, don't you die? The 10-colored woman said slightly, her voice quite soft. This Shutsai woman is actually Kaylin. Kaylin had planned to go to Shuehe town to rescue Xiao Yang, but she encountered someone from the Shenling royal family on the way, so it was a mistake. Now that Xiao Yang was out of danger, he had to come back. It's just that she just came back and met Muingying. With Kaylin's current 1-star fighting immortal perfection, she naturally found that this woman had more or less Xiao Yang's aura, and immediately became interested in her. Chat. Queen Medusa. And Muingying's forefoot was still distraught, but when she heard the name, it was like a thunder blasting in her ears. Is she the wife? Xiao Yang said. 1-star fighting immortal's complete strength. But, so what? After Kaylin reported her identity, a terrifying force almost like an ocean slowly swept out of Muingying's body. Brilliant azure blue. Obviously, Muingying used the power of the Holy Flame spirit once again. The power of Holy Flame? 1-star fighting immortal late stage? And Kaylin looked at Muingying like this and couldn't help but said, obviously at the level of fighting immortal, just some vague aura, can completely feel the smell of holy flame. The reason why Kaylin reported her identity directly to Muingying was because she knew that Muingying was someone close to Xiao Yang, so she was so open and honest. Anger erupted. What a Queen Medusa. Let me learn it today. Azure Muingying said directly to Kaylin after her strength skyrocketed. As soon as he finished speaking, a dazzling blue flame swept out, launching a powerful attack on Kaylin. Etc. Aren't you and Xiao Yang the same sect? Why? Kaylin just wanted to explain, but she was directly attacked by Muingying of the blue color, so she had to defend herself. Don't mention Xiao Yang to me. suffer to death. And Muingying, who was still fine, suddenly became emotional after hearing Kaylin said about Xiao Yang. Since that's the case, then I can't help you. Kaylin saw that good words and persuasion didn't work, and she immediately gathered the power of 10 colors and attacked Muingying, but Kaylin felt that this woman looked like this, and she should be with her. Xiao Yang has some connections. 10-color swallowing python is tyrannical, but after all, blood is cold-blooded, so it is also afraid of flames, not to mention that it is a flame of the level of holy flame, so the two are indistinguishable for a while. However, as the two fighting immortal powerhouses attacked, in the Shenlling royal family not far from here, the figure of Yang Kai slowly appeared, obviously feeling the battle that was quite nearby. As for Xiao Yang and the others, it's too far away to feel it. My king. North of Shenling City, on the edge of the lonely desert of death, there are fluctuations in the power of holy flame, and the power of the 10-colored swallowing python. That holy flame fluctuates a bit like Muingying's. Xian Kang on the side opened his mouth slightly. Have you finally waited for this moment? Yang Kai, Xuanzang, let's go. When Shenling King heard the words, he smiled evilly, and directly greeted the two figures beside him to go to the place where the movement had just occurred. King Shenling knew that if he wanted to devour the holy flame, he would only have a chance to weaken the holy flame by using the blood power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Now that the great opportunity was in front of him, King Shenling would not miss it. At this time, Yang Kai's strength had already reached the late stage of the one-star fighting immortal, and the Shenling King's strength had even reached the perfect one-star fighting immortal. As for Shen Kang, who was like a puppet by his side, his strength was even more terrifying than both of them. Asshole. Are you crazy? And after Kaylin and Azure Muingying fought, Kaylin also hurriedly shouted. It's not that Kaylin is afraid of the blue Muingying, but Kaylin doesn't know much about Muingying, only that she is a disciple of the same sect as Xiao Yang, so Kaylin doesn't care about the public and private. It's a big fight, but it's just been passively defending. But what Kaylin didn't expect was that although this azure blue Muingying was not as strong as her own, but with the horror of the holy flame's power, she could actually draw a tie with her. I'm not crazy. If you have a chance, go back and ask your husband-in-law Xiao Yang why I am, but I think you shouldn't have that chance. Accept the move. The blue Muingying was filled with the power of holy flames that destroyed fluctuations. It seems that this guy has lost his mind. We should take her down first, otherwise it will be difficult to attract the powerhouse of the Shenling royal family. Kaylin's beautiful eyes moved slightly, and then she said something. As soon as the voice fell, a mysterious power containing 10 colors suddenly appeared on the delicate body. And with the appearance of these 10 color powers, the azure blue Muingying's expression became strange. It's actually the power of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Azure Muingying murmured. Obviously she knew the tyranny of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. It was a real giant. The power of 10 colors. One color seals the sky. Suppress me. And the power of 10 colors emerged from Kaylin's delicate body, and without stopping at all, it projected towards the azure Muingying. However, Kaylin did a good job. This power is not destructive in any way. Some of it is just a hint of repressive power. Even if it hits azure Muingying completely, it will not cause serious damage to her. Want to suppress me? Azure Muingying watched the irresistible power of 10 colors attacking her. A playful arc appeared at the corner of her mouth, and then she showed a sinister smile. The power of holy flame explosion. When Kaylin's 10-color power was about to attack azure blue Muingying let out a coquettish cry, and then the dazzling azure blue flame suddenly exploded in front of her, transforming into for a circle of incomparably hot flames. The power of 10 colors was instantly engulfed. This guy. When Kaylin saw this scene, she couldn't help but wrinkle her eyes slightly. If it wasn't for the fact that this guy might have something to do with Xiao Yang, Kaylin would have killed her dozens of times with the temperament of Queen Medusa in the past. Queen Medusa. For the damage Xiao Yang has done to me, let's take back a little bit of interest from you first. The azure Muingying glared at Cai Lin with beautiful eyes, but a mad killing intent suddenly emerged. No. I can't. She is Xiao Yang's wife, I can't. But when azure Muingying was about to kill her, the blue body above her body suddenly disappeared, and a weak voice said, "You forgot what he did to you. Are you worth it?" The next moment, the body was painted blue, and he questioned in a stern tone. "As long as he's good. I have no regrets." Surprised by the stern tone, the azure color on Muingying's body slowly faded, and she only listened to her weak voice. Alas! Hearing the power of the holy flame that he guarded say so, the power of the holy flame slowly faded away, but left a rather resentful voice. Phut. But after doing all this, Muingying became weak, and then jumped directly from the air towards the desert below. Seeing this, Kaylin hurriedly caught it, and a gentle force kept entering its body. Sure enough, such a good woman is worthy of him. And Muingying looked at Kaylin, who took care of herself so much, and after murmured her last words, she closed her eyes completely. Obviously, using the holy flame spirit twice before and after was too much load for her. This girl, I don't know what that guy Xiao Yang has done. This time, when I find out about the Medusa family, I must question him carefully. Kaylin seemed to have heard some unspoken meaning from Muingying's words just now, and said immediately, "Now, let's go back to the territory first." Kaylin held Muingying in her arms, ready to get up and go to the territory of the Medusa family. But at this moment, the space above the desert where Kaylin was located suddenly burst into darkness. In the darkness, an extremely evil force slowly crawled out. Formation. The evil power of the alien race. As soon as the darkness appeared, Kaylin knew that something was wrong, but it was obviously too late to escape at this time. "Hey, Queen Medusa. This time, I'm afraid you won't be able to escape." And after the darkness enveloped, a rather familiar voice echoed in this dark space. "King Shenlling." Kaylin Bay bit her lips and said slightly, "Queen Medusa, you better be obedient and capture it. In this case, I can still suffer less from flesh and blood." King Shenlling, dressed in a royal roe deer, stood at the top of the dark space at a height below zero, and said to Kaylin below. Beside him, there were two black cloaks. Cover-up figure. It's just that one of the figures, after seeing the beautiful figure in Kaylin's arms, his body shook for a while, but King Shenling didn't find it. "Damn. It's too far from the Medusa family's territory. I'm afraid they won't be able to come. It's troublesome now." At this moment, Kaylin's pretty face finally showed a hint of ugliness. If she was alone, it would not be difficult to escape this dark formation, but now she is not alone, and it's two tilde in addition to the two people beside the Shenling king, there is even one person's breath, which makes Kaylin surprise. "Dark Bat, come out." The two of them, who had no reaction when King Shenling saw this, did not hesitate and said directly into the darkness. As soon as the voice of King Shenling fell, in the dark space, countless bats flashing with strange and evil auras emerged directly, and then frantically swept away at the color scales. The power of 10 colors. Space transfer. Cai Lin also knew that it was absolutely impossible to fight recklessly, so she directly used the power of space to prepare to escape from here. Condensation. When the power of 10 colors emerged from Kaylin's body, a cloaked figure beside Shenling King took a step forward, and then a majestic voice suddenly echoed in this space. Two-star fighting immortal. Seeing that the space transfer that he had finally condensed was directly shattered by the mysterious figure, Cai Lin also said in a voiceless voice. Only the next moment, Kaylin and Muingying's bodies were both wrapped in dark bats. With the wrapping, the strength of the two also dropped rapidly. Obviously, the role of the dark bat is to imprison the strength. Ha ha ha. 10-colored swallowing python, 2 holy flames. Let's go. Looking at the two daughters who were easily subdued, a burst of ecstasy appeared on King Xuanling's face, and then disappeared immediately. After King Shenling captured Muingying and Kaylin, he did not stop there, and rushed back to the Shenling royal family without stopping. After King Shenling returned, almost all the members of the Shenling royal family moved nervously towards Shenling. The royal family was mobilized around, and the vigilance in Shenling city was getting stricter and stricter. On the other side, Xiao Yang was still in the Medusa clan's territory, refining Shu Shengdan, but with the actions of Ergu, the other supersects in Shentian-san became extremely nervous. Incense Pavilion Headquarters. Today's burning incense pavilion is different from the past. The disciples hardly see anyone, and even the air is full of tension and oppression. After all, after the end of the sect competition, Xiao Yang and Muingying retreated from the sect, causing many disciples to lose their breath. At this time, the big figures who were enough to shake Shen Santian slowly walked towards the meeting room of the Funxiang Pavilion's headquarters. The people from the ancient desolate palace and Wanjianmen are here. At this time, the high-level protection of the Funxiang Pavilion, above the Burning Heaven domain, Zhu Jin, by YA and a bunch of the top of the Funxiang Pavilion are gathering here, as if waiting for something. In the Burning Heaven territory, the strong men with a tyrannical aura also arrived as promised. Bamboo embers. Why don't you see Fenshen? The space surged, and 2 strong men appeared immediately. Among the 2 strong men, one with a sword on his back and a jug hanging from his waist looked at the two of them, and glanced at Zhu Jin. Feel free to ask. Hey. The pavilion master has gone out and hasn't returned yet, so I will act as the pavilion owner for the time being. Wanjianmen Wine Sword Immortal and Ancient Desolate Hall's Hall Master Huang Li, the two of you please. It's only 2 people away. Zhu Jin smiled. Is that so? Then let's go. If the truth is as the disciples said, that the Shenling royal family colluded with foreign evil races, then this time, the Shenling royal family will probably be wiped out from our Shentian 3 days. Zhu Jiangxian heard the words, took off the wine jug slightly. After taking a few sips, he walked side by side with the palace master of the ancient desolate palace and walked directly to the Funxiang Pavilion conference room. Seeing this, Zhu Jin and the others followed suit, but at this time, the meeting room had already exploded. What kind of pedigree is this Shenling royal family, and they dare to blatantly collude with the evil tribes outside the territory? Did they forget the appearance of our Dacian world when it was eroded by the evil tribes outside the territory? Many resentful men stood up and said angrily, but this man had a small puppet hanging on his body. Looking closely, it was the same as ordinary human beings, extremely realistic. Ha ha. Puppet Palace Master, don't be impatient, let's wait until everyone is here. Seeing that the Puppet Palace Master was so angry, the 2 women sitting next to the first one spoke at the same time. The Pavilion Master of Wanhua Pavilion, the Sect Master of the Poison Sect, and the Palace Master of the Puppet Mansion also sat down slightly after seeing the 2 women's voices. Obviously, he knew that the strength of the 2 strong men in front of him was not his own. Cope. And I don't know why, since Fenshen left the customs, it seems that the situation between the 3 forces of Wanhua Pavilion, Funxiang Pavilion and Poison Sect has been greatly improved. Here. After the Palace Master of the Puppet Palace sat down, 4 figures with a tyrannical aura slowly came to the conference room. Everyone, have you all arrived? Zhu Jin couldn't help saying as he watched the powerhouses from several sects gather below. Old Zhu, the matter of the Shenling royal family is imminent now. Even if we send a signal to invite the major super sects of Shen Santian to come to discuss, only these sects will come. The other sects refused one by one. Mu Shuzi stepped forward and said, Puppet Mansion, Ancient Desolate Hall, Wanjianmen, Pill Valley, Purgatory Hall, Wanhua Pavilion, Poison Sect. 7 sects. And Zhu Jin also glanced at the 7 people below and spoke directly. Humph. What the Shenling royal family has done is obvious to all their disciples. Since other sects don't want to stand up, I am afraid it is for their own selfishness. After all, when the Shenling royal family does it, even if it is true, its heritage and strength should not be underestimated. If they fight completely, I'm afraid it will cause terrifying casualties to their disciples. As Zhu Jin's voice just fell, a man dressed in expensive clothes looked at Wei Wei, and his voice was full of Shenling royal family. Much dissatisfaction. This old man is now the leader of Pill Valley, Yi Qingtian. Regardless of his strength, he is in the middle stage of 1-star fighting immortals, but he has another staggering identity. A 4th-grade alchemist of the immortal rank. Therefore, even if it is a powerhouse with a perfect 1-star Dozian, one must give 3 points to him. Dan Gui Yi Qingtian, what do you think? Seeing the old man speak, Zhu Jiangxian on the side narrowed his eyes slightly and asked. Obviously, if the Pill Ghost supports this war, I am afraid this matter will be possible. After all, in the entire Shentian 3 days, in terms of financial resources, I am afraid that no sect or individual dares to compare with the wealthy Pill Valley. According to my idea, unite the power of our 8 sects and jointly kill the Shenling royal family. Among them, all the medicinal pills needed for the battle, I have come out of the Pill Valley. The old man known as the Pill Ghost Yi Qingtian said rather domineeringly. As soon as these words came out, the entire conference room went silent, and everyone was surprised. Not to mention, the elixir needed in the battle is probably an astronomical figure, not to mention that the elixir needed for fighting at the level of Dozian is even more precious. Since Dan Gui made the matter plain, then I'll open the skylight and speak up. This time, everyone is invited to come here. In fact, it is for this matter. In the case of the sect competition, in the Blood River, I believe that countless sect disciples have discovered the aura of the extraterritorial evil race among the disciples of the Shenling royal family. It's fine if there are 1 or 2, there are so many. I'm afraid it has nothing to do with the Shenling royal family. As for the greed and evil of the evil races outside the realm, I believe you all already know it. Zhu Jin said slightly. The reason why Zhu Jin invited the experts from these 7 sects was because in the previous battle between heaven and earth, the ancestors of these 7 sects had deep grievances with foreign evil races. Although you can rest assured, King Shenling and other powerhouses, Our pavilion master will naturally deal with it. Seemingly seeing the doubts of several powerhouses here, Zhu Jin said in the middle. The strength of the disciples of the Shenling royal family can skyrocket under the power of the evil clan outside the realm, and I am afraid that the senior members of the Shenling royal family are also. Although Zhu Jin said so, the people in the Purgatory Hall were still puzzled. The pavilion master has made a breakthrough, so you can rest assured. Moreover, the grievances between our burning incense pavilion and the Shenling royal family are not 1 day or 2 days. Zhu Jin Zaidu said. In this case, we will naturally go all out. As Zhu Jin revealed the great relationship among them, and gave everyone a reassurance, and with the strong support of Wang Jianmen and Dangu, several other cases the strong people also nodded. Since that's the case, let's go back to rectify the sect. 5 days later, lead the elites of the sect to form the Demon Extinguishing Alliance army, and discuss the Shenling royal family together. Everyone present said in unison. And after everyone in the Funxiang pavilion nervously convened a lot of powerhouses to open the meeting, the atmosphere of the entire Shen Santian became extremely tense. Zhu Jin, what about Fenshen? After the other 5 sects left, the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion and the poisonous sect master stayed and asked Zhu Jin. After all, the relationship between the 2 daughters and Fenshen was quite close. Not bad. The pavilion master has left the sect since the sect competition opened, and he doesn't know where he went. Otherwise, with the character of the pavilion owner, Xiao Yang will definitely show up when he retires from the sect. Zhu Jin was also slightly puzzled. Because Fen Tian and Xiao Yang seemed to have some agreement, and Xiao Yang also rescued Yin Tong, out of reason, Fen Tian would not let Xiao Yang do this. I don't know why, but I've been feeling inexplicably upset recently. I hope I'm thinking too much. After finishing speaking, the pavilion master of Wanhua Pavilion left here. It's hard to find an opponent, and I don't worry too much. If Fen Tian comes back, remember to notify me as soon as possible. And the poison sect master left a sentence coldly and also left here. The Shenling royal family. 5 days later, let's fully understand the grievances over the years. Zhu Jin looked into the distance, muttered, and then went off to work. On the other side, Shenling City. Hey, have you heard of it? The Shenling royal family seems to have provoked something unclean, and it has provoked other super sects in Shen Santian to try to deal with it. In the small inn, people came and went, but at this time some figures were discussed quietly. Hey, look at your ignorance. My lord, let me tell you. It is said that the Shenling royal family secretly colluded with foreign evil clans to try to rule the Shenling continent. The other super sects couldn't stand it, so they decided to join forces. One of the figures said triumphantly, "Extraterritorial evil race? What is that?" Someone asked involuntarily, "Oh, how did I tell you about this?" Anyway, the extraterritorial evil race is extremely evil, an existence that makes all of us human beings hate. Since the Shenling royal family dares to provoke them at a big risk, I should have thought of it long ago. Let's see how the Shenling royal family will deal with it. Some whispers kept emerging, letting the people in the past know about this matter, so that the crowd in Shenling City at this time was quite afraid of the Shenling royal family, for fear that they would eat people without spitting bones. And in the Shenling royal family not far from Shenling City. "My king, it's not good." Outside the palace, a hurried voice emerged directly, and then a figure like a thunderbolt swept past the main entrance of the palace and ran towards King Shenling. "What's the matter? Such a fuss?" King Shenling frowned when he heard this, shouting angrily, "My king, according to my subordinate's secret report. Funxiang Pavilion, Wanhua Pavilion, Poison Sect, Wanjianmen, Ancient Wilderness Hall, Pill Valley, Purgatory Hall, and the 8 super sects of the Puppet Palace, the Demon Extermination Alliance will attack our Shenling royal family in 5 days. And the figure said hurriedly, his voice full of fear. Although the Shenling royal family has a great career, but facing the cooperation of the 8 super sects, I am afraid that it is impossible to escape death. Understood, let's go down. According to the original plan, King Shenling seemed to have expected this scene long ago. Without the slightest panic, he just said lightly, "But my king, will this cost too much?" The spy still asked. "If you have a willingness, you will get it. It's called laying a long line and catching a big fish. But I didn't expect that the burning incense pavilion would attack us first. It may have exposed too many things directly in the blood river. But it doesn't matter anymore. I have already devoured the gore fiend, so the waste under his command should have some effect. Send the order down. Invite the leaders of the major super sects in Shentian San, and 5 days later, in Shenling Mountain, hold the demon extermination ceremony. Let's use the Gore Fiend to leave the lives of all the strong to open the door to a new world for me. At that time, all the powerhouses of Shen Santian will be able to witness that moment of glory. Ha ha ha. King Shenling laughed wildly. Yes. And when the spy heard the words, he went straight down. With a sound, 2 figures appeared beside King Shenling. These 2 figures are Shen Kang and Yang Kai. The strength of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python should not be underestimated, but it was temporarily suppressed by me. Shen Kang said slightly. In addition, that holy flame has also quieted down, but it has been hidden by us in Shenling Mountain. As long as the time comes, it can be swallowed. Yang Kai on the side also spoke. That's very good, very good. King Shenling said with a smile. Yang Kai, there is one more thing you need to do. The next moment, King Shenling said. My king, please speak. Yang Kai said. Go to the underground palace, arrest all the remaining strong men from the Gore Fiend, and send them to Shenling Mountain to be sealed. 5 days later, I will invite countless powerhouses from the Shentian 3 supersects to jointly destroy the demons and completely obliterate the Blood Demon General. King Shenling said. Okay. Yang Kai heard the words, and went straight to do it, letting the Gorfians be tyrannical, and in front of the power of Holy Flame, she was like a woman without the power to tie a chicken. My king, your trick is really brilliant. This is the Soul Ball. The power of the souls of all the powerhouses in my Shenling royal family. As long as we have this thing, we can be invincible. Even if the strong in our royal family defect, they can still control them. Not long after, the national teacher Wenzi also spoke slowly. The extraterritorial evil race planted a blood curse in their Shenling royal tilde. If it wasn't for the secret help of the Shenling king, I am afraid it would not have succeeded. Unfortunately, some strong people naively thought it was a good thing, and they were deceived. In the drum. Wenzi, you have helped me many times. After this time, I will definitely not treat you badly. Originally, the Gore Fiend wanted to control the Shenling continent through me, but he was devoured by me. The Gore Fiend never thought of it until he died. King Shenling laughed loudly. By the way, my king, there is one more thing. Wenzi said as if he remembered something. The Soul Clan sent another immortal fighter, and it seems that they want to do something to us. Wenzi said. Do you have their specific coordinates? King Shenling said solemnly. Yes. Wenzi said. Shen Kang, this time you go. No one from the Soul Clan and Solomon will be left behind. After hearing Wenzi's words, the King Shenling had a killing intent on his face. Yes, master. Shen Kang agreed softly and passed away in a flash, obviously not knowing where to go. Next, spread the news of the demon extermination ceremony. 5 days later, Shen Santian will open a new world. After King Shenling finished all of this, he tightly held the soul ball in his palm and laughed greedily, in that smile. Has long since disappeared, but it is extremely terrifying like a demon. With the Demon Extermination Alliance of the 8 supersects and the Demon Extermination Ceremony of the Shenling royal family, Shen Santian was in a turbulent situation at this time, and the situation became extremely tense. In the domain of the Medusa clan in the lonely desert of death. This Shu Shengdan really isn't so easy to refine. In the secret room, Xiao Yang looked at the dragon's eye-sized pill in his hand, and couldn't help but have a smile on the corner of his mouth. Since the skyrocketing of soul power, Xiao Yang's medicine refining skills have also improved, so although Shu Shengdan is of high rank, he was successfully refined by Xiao Yang. Now everything that devours the holy flame is ready. The next step is to wait for the blood demon envoy to be killed, and then you can devour the ghost face and soul flame. It's just that I don't know to what extent the strength and Fen Ju can skyrocket after swallowing this holy flame. Xiao Yang put away Shu Shengdan and said immediately. However, Xiao Yang was also very puzzled. This ghost face soul flame can only be used and cannot be swallowed, which made Xiao Yang helpless. Oh, well, let's go out first. Calculate the time, it should be a month. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he got up and walked towards the secret room. Hehe, Xiao Yang's little brother is out? When Xiao Yang just stepped out of the secret room, a snake figure appeared silently. Who? Xiao Yang couldn't help being shocked when he heard the words, because there was no trace of the source of this voice, which was enough to show the tyranny of his strength. Me. With Xiao Yang's voice, the figure slowly walked out. Senior Snake King. Seeing this, Xiao Yang also showed a trace of respect. After all, the Snake King and Shifu were both Kailin's right-hand men, and they did not spare any effort to help him. It's good to go out. Time lapses slowly in the Chamber of Secrets. It's only been about 3 days now. The Snake King smiled. Xiao Yang also laughed. Let's go. It's been a long time since you left the customs. There are some acquaintances who need you to meet. Seeing Xiao Yang recovering from his injuries, the Snake King said. Senior, lead the way. Xiao Yang said without hesitation. Let's go. They looked at each other, and then the Snake King left with Xiao Yang. The Crystal Palace of the Medusa family. Mu Shuzi, why are you coming to the territory of our Medusa family? At this time, the old figure of Mu Shuzi slowly appeared here. I'm here for 2 reasons. One is for our pavilion master, and the other is for Xiao Yang. Mu Shu said slightly. Ha ha ha. Joke. Xiao Yang has already left your burning incense pavilion. Do you still want to have anything to do with him? And how could Fen Tian's strength appear in our Medusa clan? Mai Lan hurriedly laughed out among the snake people. You can't say it like this. Mu Shuzi said unquestionably when he heard the words. Be quiet. Mu Shuzi, you'd better tell the story. Seeing that many high-level leaders of the Medusa clan were here, Shifu directly stood up and said something. The relationship between the Medusa family and the Funxiang Pavilion is quite good. Many times the Shenling royal family wanted to completely encircle and suppress the Medusa family, but with the help of the Funxiang Pavilion. Palace Master Wood. Just when Mu Shuzi wanted to speak, a familiar voice came out. Xiao Yang. It's fine. As Mu Shuzi watched Xiao Yang's figure come out, he couldn't help but feel relieved in his pupils. Obviously, when Xiao Yang retired from the sect, Mu Shuzi felt more or less guilty. What happened back then? Mu Shuzi couldn't help saying. Palace Master Wood, I know it all. It's all right. Xiao Yang also said with a free and easy smile. He knew that in that situation, it was undoubtedly Funxiang Pavilion's unfavorable move. Since everyone has arrived, let's talk about major events. Shifu also saw Xiao Yang leaving the customs, and immediately said. As many powerhouses nodded, there was an unusually calm fluctuation in the Crystal Palace. What's wrong? Because Xiao Yang just came out of retreat, he didn't know what happened. I'll come first. Everyone knows that the Shenling royal family will hold the demon extermination ceremony in the next 2 days, right? Mu Shuzi raised his head slightly and said to Shifu. This Shenling royal family is clearly colluding with the Foreign Evil clan, but now they use the Foreign Evil clan as a cover. I really don't know what medicine they sell in the gourd. And when he heard this, Mobile couldn't bear it. Zhu scolded directly, obviously resenting the Shenling royal family. Old Snake, what do you have in mind? Looking at the people around him who were scolding the Shenling royal family, Mu Shuzi asked Shifu. The Shenling royal family probably doesn't want to become the public enemy of Shen Santian. Let's not say whether they have colluded with the Foreign Evil clan, but they actually have the power of the Foreign Evil clan. With the help of the power of the Alien clan, I am afraid that the overall strength of the Shenling royal family has reached a new height now, and according to my guess, the Shenling royal family is so willing to take out the Foreign Evil clan to obliterate it. I am afraid that I have found a way that is more powerful than the evil race outside the territory. So the Shenling royal family's demon extermination ceremony this time is probably a Longtan tiger's den, and it's not easy to break through. Shifu said. With our burning incense pavilion as the mainstay, 8 demon slayer alliances have been established. When the time comes, they will be wiped out at the time of the Shenling royal family's annihilation ceremony. Mu Shuzi heard the words and said solemnly. No. Except Wanhua Pavilion and Poison Sect, the other 5 sects are not very reliable. And if the power of the Shenling royal family is too strong, I am afraid that the 5 sects will withdraw directly when they are in danger. When the time comes, you will be alone. Shifu said sharply. There is a blood feud with the Shenling royal family. Now there are only 2 forces of you and me, plus Wanhua Pavilion and Poison Sect, so in the end, I'm afraid it's just a decisive battle between our forces. Shifu shook his head and said, obviously for the other cases are not too trustworthy. This statement makes sense. Mu Shuzi originally wanted to argue, but after thinking about it carefully, the other 5 sects didn't have much blood and deep hatred for the Shenling royal family. So this time to destroy the demons, our Medusa family will do our best. Go back first, wait for us to rectify the strength of the clan, and 2 days later, we will fight Shenling Mountain. Shifu also clearly stated his attitude. In that case, I will thank you on behalf of the Pavilion Master. Mu Shuzi said. Palace Master Wood, I'll go back with you. I haven't said goodbye to many senior brothers. The next moment, Xiao Yang's hearty voice also echoed, and every time he thought of the many disciples of Fenxiang Pavilion, his heart couldn't help but warm. This video will end here.